Hello and welcome to PvE Rogues. My name is Garona and today we're going to take a look at the Mutilate rotation for patch 401. This also applies to patch 403. We can see this is the rotation we're going to be looking at today, which includes Rupture for Mutilate Rogues with reasonable levels of haste. Today we're just going to be showing you the basics of a Mutilate rotation, how to play your Mutilate rogue on single targets. Unfortunately, the training dummy that we'll be using is not the heroic training dummy we used in our combat rogue video. This is because the dummies have all changed and they're now Cataclysm dummies, so we'll have to use a regular level 80 training dummy for this one. Okay, so once again this is the rogue that we will be using. This is my combat rogue. I'm afraid I have rendered all my Mutilate gear already, so she is currently wearing gear reforged for combat. And I also had to pick up an extra spare dagger from the AH, so she just has a little librarian's paper cutter in her offhand at the moment, in contrast to her lungbreaker. It's not enchanted as well. So, just to explain quickly why I chose this way round for my daggers, the Librarian's Paper Cutter is 0.1 speed faster than the Lungbreaker, but because it is so far below the level of the Lungbreaker has significantly more damage. This means it's a pretty safe bet that the Lungbreaker is going to do more Mutilate damage than the benefits of the Librarian's Paper Cutter. So I've put the Lungbreaker in the main hand, even though it's technically the slowest dagger. So make sure you apply your poisons. Remember, it's deadly poison and instant poison for Mutilate rogues. I don't believe this rogue is glyphed properly either, so we're not expecting to see any major DPS, but she should still be reasonable. Okay, so first things first is Mutilate rogues always stealth whenever possible to open up their attacks. This places a garrote on the target dummy and generates combo points. That allows us as well to also instantly slice and dice as soon as we come out of stealth. We want to limit the downtime we have in stealth, so whenever you stealth or vanish, make sure it's immediately followed by a garrote and then straight into your rotation. Let's just give this a try. Garrote, slice and dice. Okay, now we'll start building up Mutilate points. And throw a Rupture up. You'll notice Deadly Poison is straight away up, but I've lost my slice and dice. Oops. Okay, now the most we're ever going to do here is 2 Mutilates. We should never need to do more than that. That means we will generate either 4 or 5 combo points. That's perfectly okay. You can envenom and Rupture on either 4 or 5 combo points. We do not want to spend a Mutilate simply to add 1 extra combo point to your rotation. Remember, just like combat rogues, we do not want to let our slice and dice drop off, even if it means clipping. For Mutilate rogues, this will mean clipping because our envenom ability refreshes our slice and dice. You can see I'm not using slice and dice anymore. I'm just using Rupture and envenom. Also, it's very important never to clip your Rupture, the total opposite of slice and dice. You should always allow your Rupture to fully drop off before you refresh it, like so. This allows it to tick for its full duration and deal its full damage. If you clip it, you will end up losing damage from that Rupture. Okay, so let's practice a quick vanish. This will activate our overkill ability and is the primary reason why we like stealthing so much as Mutilate rogues. rupture, vanish, garrot, back into my rotation. Okay, you can see overkill buff up there, regenerating 30% additional energy. Okay, now we do have 2 cooldowns now as a combat rogue. Cold Blood, which I'm popping now. That's always best to pop when you have 5 combo points on your target. But it's not necessary, and you do want to try and make sure that you pop your cooldowns on every single cooldown. That means as soon as it's available. Okay, and we have another one called Vendetta, which is the Mutilate replacement for Hunger for Blood. It no longer requires a bleed effect on your target, but you don't get to keep it active throughout the duration of the fight. It is just a one-time only proc. If you make sure to activate Cold Blood and Vendetta as soon as possible during an encounter, if the encounter is long enough, you might get to pop them again before the boss dies. Now on this action bar I do have shiv, just here, ready for use. Shiv for a Mutilate rogue is mainly used if you do not happen to have 5 stacks of deadly poison upon your target. This is because anything less than 5 stacks of deadly poison will give you a much weaker venom. However, as you can see, it should not really be necessary. It's just on my bar just in case. But you should find that your deadly poison stacks up very quickly. My Cold Blood has already cooled down, so I'm just going to pop that one now. And Vendetta. Notice the Cold Blood and Vendetta didn't cool down at the same time, but that's okay. Our Vanish has already cooled down, so let's activate our overkill again. Vanish, rot, and straight back into our rotation. Basically how to play your Mutilate rogue. Okay, just to clarify, when your target is below 35% health, you may want to consider using backstab instead for the energy regains. As you could see from my little test on this dummy, I did actually have energy capping issues. My energy would go to 100 and I couldn't spend it fast enough, so in those cases it might be worthwhile not using backstab. As far as I know, this is a bit more level at level 85, and we don't run into that many haste capping issues just yet, so this is basically a personal choice at the moment. If you don't have that much haste, consider using backstab. If you find you're having energy capping issues, then just stick with Mutilate. The way to use backstab is basically you just build up combo points with your backstab ability. When you get to 5, throw down your rupture or your venom. Just like you would any other combo point building ability. So thank you very much for watching. I'm very sorry about the messed up viewing and the messed up rogue. Also remember that this is a level 80 normal training dummy. We do not have access to a heroic or raid wrath training dummy anymore, so that will be also a big factor for testing out damage at the moment, because you'll not miss, parry, dodge, whatever, half as much as you should be doing. Thank you very much again for watching. Make sure you check out the blog pvrogues.blogspot.com for further information, or to talk about Mutilate, combat, subtlety, rotations, your idea of a good rotation, absolutely anything. Just give us a shout and we'll try to get back in touch very quickly.